just finished up teaching Bible study where we're looking at the first chapter of Acts today. When we study the Bible, we often try to discover information. We try to discover ways in which we can live better. Maxie Dunham is one of the foremost leaders, thinkers, writers in this area of spiritual formation in our life. He's most recognized within the Methodist circles and is regarded as one of the foremost leaders in that area. He recently wrote this. He said, "We immerse ourselves in Scripture not just to find solutions or for problems or guidance in particular situations, that we do it to immerse or saturate our minds and hearts with Jesus Himself." I think that's an important word for us as we walk through these days that we continue to walk through, as we navigate different recommendations and anticipate new recommendations, is that we are reminded that we can search for lots of answers, we can try to find solutions, and I think it's an obvious conclusion that I would encourage you to find those solutions in Scripture. But sometimes we just need to immerse ourselves in Jesus Christ, for not what He would speak to us, not necessarily how He would tell us to act, but that we would just immerse ourselves so that our minds and our hearts might be immersed in Him. I'm reminded of the story of Jesus going to the home of Mary and Martha. I often use that powerful text. Martha was busy doing. Mary was simply sitting at the feet of Jesus. She understood that principle. She understood the principle of sitting at the feet of Jesus for no other reason, for nothing else other than being in the presence of Christ Himself and just being saturated or immersed in Him and in Him alone. And sometimes we get distracted by everything that we're hearing, and we form opinions, and we get angry, we get happy, we're emotionally all over the place. But I think where we can find an emotional center in these days that allows our faith to lead us is when we center in Jesus Christ and we let Him and His presence saturate our hearts and minds so that we have a better perspective as we move forward. I think just sitting at the feet of Jesus, that if we'll just take time, if we can, to be merry. There's lots of times to do. Our families are discovering that finding things to do are more challenging than ever. They've done lots of art projects. They've played every game. They've put together every puzzle. They've watched every Netflix movie. They've done a lot of things. And maybe we can just pause, sit at the feet of Jesus, and understand that His presence is comforting, and yet it sends us forward into life with a new understanding of living by faith in Him. So I just wanted to share that thought with you this afternoon. Maybe that's encouragement for you, just to pause, to sit at the feet of Jesus, not for what He can tell you to do, but just so that you can be with Him. I trust you'll have a good afternoon, and we'll see you soon.